Yo guys, what's going on and welcome to a different sort of video today. I'm Angry Primeape. If you haven't heard me before, I highly suggest that you subscribe to this channel and like the video. I'm going to actually aim to get 10 likes on this video because it's a different sort of video today. So today's video is, as from the title as you can see, is how to randomise Pokemon ROMs. Now you obviously have seen me play a lot of randomised ROMs on the channel and you're probably thinking, Angry, how the hell are you doing this? Like, what do you use? What do you do? And I'm basically going to show you exactly how I do that. It's going to be a very short video, around 5 to 6, hopefully 7, below 10 minutes. We'll say below 10 minutes. And hopefully you guys are going to appreciate this. And if you do, obviously like the video, let me know if you want me to do more videos like this in the future. So we're obviously on the home screen right now, as you can see my mouse right here. The first thing you want to do is go to here and you want to put in this particular thing up here. Now I will be leaving a link to both of these sites that you're going to need in order to get both randomized ROMs. So the first thing you're going to want is to get is the Pokemon Universal Pokemon Game Randomizer. Now the downloads are both here. If you've got a Windows, obviously get the Windows one. If you're like me and you're using a Mac, obviously use the other one. Now obviously you're going to need to use this one to get the specific randomizer. Now when that eventually loads, which will take about 5 or so minutes, you are going to want to obviously go into your downloads and find your particular randomizer. For me, mine is in a particular folder. It is located right here. It should look something like this down here. You're going to want to open it up. So that's the first major thing you want to do for this randomizer. I'll probably be using loads of cuts for this as well. So the next thing you actually want to do, which is a major thing, is actually find some ROMs to download. Now, for me, I use a very particular site, and it goes by the name of Royal ROMS, as you can see right here. If I just typed in, say, Pokemon, for example, it would search for Pokemon, and it would come up with literally all the type of games. So you've got literally. So if you click view all ROMs, it will come up with all the possible ROMs, ranging from ROM hacks to just regular ROMs, and you can search a particular console, genre, region. It doesn't even, for this we're obviously doing specifically Pokemon, but if you want to use a site just for getting random ROMs, this is the place you want to go. I'll be leaving a link to this particular site in the description as well. If you want to use it straight off from the bat and just click the link, feel free. So we're actually going to say, let's say we've grabbed a random ROM. Let's say we've grabbed, what ROM should we say? We'll say we've grabbed Soul Silver, Pokemon Soul Silver as our ROM. So we're going to go to Open ROM. That's obviously the first thing you want to do. And you want to go and find where you keep your ROMs. Obviously my ROMs are actually kept in a separate folder here. And as you can see, all my games are located here. Like I said, we're going to be doing Pokemon Soul Silver. Now there are a lot of things you can do within this randomizer. I'm going to go full screen for this. So we've got the likes of Mew here as the Pokemon that comes up. So the first thing you've got is general options. Now using this, obviously you can limit the generation Pokemon you can have. I could limit it to generation 1. I could limit to generation 2, and if I wanted, I could add related Pokemon. That would mean Pokemon would be added post game. I don't usually touch this area, simply because I like to include all Pokemon. So we're not going to be clicking that. You've got the likes of race mode as well, which means you will be given a log file of where each Pokemon is. I have used that for my Pokédex Lock series, which I have on the channel, and I do it usually live. No game breaking moves. That would mean no one hit KO moves, no moves where stat booster is basically overpowered. And that's basically the general options you can mess around with. Obviously you can load settings that you might have done previously. You can save some settings that you've done so you don't have to keep putting them in. But obviously because this is a how-to, I'm going to literally be working my way through. So you've got the Pokemon base statistics. Obviously this is just standard. So Pokemon stats, obviously you've got attack, special defense, and speed. You can mess around with this how you want. You can click shuffle, you can click random. And then you can obviously mess around with the base stats and stuff here as well. Now what I usually do is I click shuffle and update the base stats, because I feel like that is the best thing you can do. Now, major thing in a randomized Nuzlocke especially is the Pokemon abilities. Now obviously you want to click randomize, and it's up to you whether you allow Wonder Guard and whether the randomized abilities follow the evolutions. Now if you want it to be interesting, I highly suggest you don't follow the evolutions and allow Wonder Guard just to mix it up a little bit more. Usually I ban negative abilities just to give more Pokemon better ability, pretty much. Obviously you've got the Pokemon types and evolutions. I don't usually touch these. I usually change impossible evolutions, so that means that Pokemon like Machoke, Kadabra, and Pokemon that usually you have to trade to evolve will evolve a lot easier. So it makes it much easier. Now I believe if you actually hover over, if you hover over the specific thing you're looking at, it will actually tell you exactly what you want to do. Obviously, this one's basically saying, like I said, Pokemon you usually have to trade to evolve. It'll make it much easier. It'll probably, I think they're level like 30 or 40. You end up evolving them out. Obviously, you can mess around with this how you want. I don't usually touch these two particular areas. Next, you've got starter Pokemon. Obviously, you can choose your particular starter Pokemon. So I could choose, say, Totodile, Sneasel, and then maybe as the final Pokemon, I could choose Seedot. So it could be a completely randomised starter trio, or you could just randomise it completely, so you're going in completely blind, like I usually do. Then you've got the likes of the move data and move sets. I don't usually touch these areas. Move data, you've got the likes of move power, move accuracy, move PP. You can mess around with this as much as you want and make the Nuzlocke as complicated as you like. Obviously, like I said, if you hover over the particular area you want to look at, it does tell you how it will help you. I usually click update moves, and that's pretty much it for this area. If you want to do a metronome lock, obviously you click metronome only here. I don't usually change this simply because there's no point. If I do a Nuzlocke, however, where I randomise the types, I usually do random moves but prefer same typing, and then allow every Pokemon to have 4 moves. Now, moving on to probably the major part if you're making a particular Nuzlocke. A particular randomised Nuzlocke, if I can get my words out. So trainers Pokemon, I usually just randomise and then make sure my rival carries a starter throughout. I don't usually mess around with the other areas simply because there's not much point. I always randomise the trainer names, and then I usually force fully leveled at level 50 simply because it allows you to evolve all Pokemon. It allows all once you hit a particular stage, or particularly the Elite Four, you're definitely going to be versing fully evolved Mons, which makes the ROM much more serious and complicated, especially from my perspective. But it's obviously up to you whether you mess around with this or not. You can obviously mess around with the percentage modifier, which I'm actually going to be messing around with today. We're going to be adding 20% on, because I'm actually going to be doing this as the new series on my channel after I finish my Pokemon Moon Emerald series. If you haven't seen that yet, the link to the playlist will be in the description. But yeah, you can mess around with the percentage level modifier like I have, and you can make sure that no matter what, when you go into a battle, the Pokemon will always be 20% above your level. Next, obviously, you have wild Pokemon, so that means you can literally just randomise them to be whatever you want them to be. Now, I don't usually touch this area at all. I usually just randomise the held items and ban bad items. If you get bored and maybe want to catch a legendary as quickly as possible, you can literally set the minimum catch rate to 1, 2, 3 or 4, depending on how quickly you want to catch Mons. 1 being the lowest, obviously, 4 being the highest. I don't usually touch that though. As for static Pokemon, obviously you can randomise it so it's a legendary for legendary and normal for normal, or you can do it completely random, which is absolutely suicide. I leave it as random, so legendary for legendary and normal for normal. Now moving on to pretty much the final part, you've got the likes of TMs and HMs and whether your Pokemon are going to be compatible to use particular things. Now what I do is I randomise the TMs, but as for HM, I allow all my Pokemon to get it, so I don't have to have a particular one on the team, and I can have the team exactly how I want it. TM and HM compatibility, I usually do random completely, just to keep it a little bit more interesting there as well. As for move tutor, I literally just randomise and leave this particular area alone. Move tutor compatibility, I also click on random completely. And as for in-game trains, I randomise both given and requested. This bit is honestly up to you, it doesn't really matter. But I ensure I click all of these areas as well. Feel free to pause the video where you feel necessary to slow it down and help you get through this video in randomising your own ROM, of course. Field items, obviously, you can just shuffle them around, or you can actually fully randomise them like I do. Meaning you could get maybe 2 Master Balls in a randomised Nuzlocke, or maybe just none at all. It's completely random, obviously. And then you've got the little tweaks at the end, which will obviously be for me. You'll be fastest text, you're allowed lowercase names, and randomise the catching tutorial. If you ban a lucky egg, you're doing a bit of a suicide mission right there. But yeah, that's how you randomise the ROM, and this is how you particularly do it. Then you obviously click randomise save. Let's save it as SS series, because that's going to be the new series I'm going to have on my channel. And I have a particular folder for my ROMs here as well. So obviously you've got the likes of the Pokédex lock, Glaze, which I lost pretty much straight away, and my Moon Emerald series. So we will be saving it in there. And yeah, so that is how you actually randomise these ROMs. When it eventually saves, it will also ask if you want it to be a race. Now, obviously this goes back to the race mode, which I was talking about up here. So with this, it basically means you have a log of seeing where every Pokemon is, what starters you get, where the TMs are, where the items are. Literally, you name it, it will tell you exactly where it is. Yeah, so it will come up with something like this when it eventually saves. For some reason that took longer than expected, but yeah, it will come up with save log. Now, I click no just to keep it more interesting, but if you want to see where particular Pokemon are and you want to make a particular team, I suggest saving the log. But yeah, that's how you randomize ROMs. Obviously, I'll be leaving a link to the particular links to the. I'll be leaving a link to the particular sites you want to go to get the randomizer, to get the ROMs and stuff like that. And hopefully, this video has actually helped you out quite a lot. So yeah. Thank you guys very much for watching this how-to video. If you haven't already, I highly suggest you subscribe to the channel. If you want me to do more videos like this, then let me know. I have been Primeape. If you haven't already, follow me on Twitter. Help me get to 250 subscribers by the end of the year. And I will see you guys next time. Peace!